You're now tuned in to another opinionated episode of the Second Opinion Podcast, covering every topic in the world of gaming that we can think of. Gaming is our passion, and podcasting is our profession. Soleb and Bolt's podcasting since 2011.
Skelly.
The Second Opinion Podcast starts now.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Second Opinion Podcast, live on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch. Welcome back. We will be having some regular, just straight audio episodes very soon with me and Bolts. But this weekend is a mega weekend.
Yes.
And we got a lot of stuff going on. And of course, you know, we had to bring the OG back.
Skelly. Yes, sir.
Skelly. So this is episode 347. WrestleMania Goes Hollywood. Hollywood predictions, man. And we're also going to be talking at the end of the show for briefly about E3's cancellation. So with that said, I am joined by Jason Skelly Belec.
Don't ever call me Jason again.
What's going on, man? What's up?
Not much. Ready for this weekend.
I know, right? It's gonna be a good weekend.
Super Bowl of wrestling. Let's do it.
Yeah. And where are you right now? I
am in Charlotte.
Yeah.
At Taurin's house, or AKA Marksman.
Yeah, Mr. Marksman. So as we did on the last episode, we're going to get into the segment Life's a Bitch. How about you? So Skelly, what's been going on since the last time we talked? How's work? How's gaming? How's
Work's
life?
been good. Like I work from home, so now that I'm in Charlotte for the next couple weeks, I'm working from here, which I freaking love. But other than that, gaming wise, finished up since our last episode the Diablo 4 beta.
Yes,
still love that. Started playing the Resident Evil 4 remake, thanks to you and Jeremy Toaster, giving me that recommendation. So been doing that, and it's been going pretty good. Awesome. But I haven't really had too much time for gaming, like I said, because I'm traveling, stuff like that. So
yeah, okay. Well, yeah, it's kind of the same thing with me. Been busy this week. We got Dante's first T-ball game tomorrow. So
nice.
Yeah, he's excited about that. And then, of course, we got WrestleMania this weekend, but I did finish Resident Evil 4. I was going to post up my review yesterday because yesterday was actually the 27th anniversary of Resident Evil, which is nuts. 27 years.
Hell yeah.
Like, what the hell? But my review will be up on Cinelinks either tonight or tomorrow morning. So I love the game. It's so good. It is a great, really great remake, and I think Capcom did a really good job on it. This afternoon, man, I came home and my kids were like, it's the weekend, so like, can we play video games? And I was like, yeah, we can play some video games. So my daughter was like, well, let's download Adventure Time.
And that was one, by the
way. Yes. Let's download Adventure Time. So we downloaded Adventure Time, got to play in that, and then we played Sackboy Big Adventure together. So kids really love those games. And
there's two.
We were oh my god, we were gonna play Mario, but we kind of waited. But something we haven't really talked about or anything like that. I'm sure you saw. Please tell me you watched the 10-minute gameplay of Tears of the Kingdom.
Nope.
Oh, my God.
I was going to do that tonight.
Oh, man. It looks amazing, bro. My God.
I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch it. So today, after this, I'm actually going to watch it.
Yeah, it looks really good. I think the game is going to be it's going to be phenomenal, dude. I mean, me and Dara, I think in total, we spent like 238 hours, I think, in Breath of the Wild. So we put a lot of time in that, but it was a competition, bro. It was constantly a competition. Like I would have some shit, like some attire that she hasn't had. She's like, "Where'd you find that?" I'm like, "I don't know. You're gonna have to go look." And then I'd come home and she'd have something else. I'm like, "Oh, you fucked up. You shouldn't have done that." Yeah, man, I think it's going to be a really, really good game. But as I said at the beginning of the show, this is going to be a little different. We're talking about wrestling, kind of throwback to some of the previous podcasts that we had when Skelly was here, and also throwback to me and Bolts having those special episodes, the Second Opinion in the Ring. But today we're here to talk about WrestleMania, our predictions of WrestleMania, and then we're going to talk about E3. But WrestleMania goes to Hollywood. So this is looking to be one of the biggest WrestleManias in some time.
Yeah.
It's looking to be very large. I didn't even realize it until a couple of days ago that it was going to be a 2-day event.
It's been a 2-day event for the last 3 years.
But I just slips my mind. They got to
try to keep up with Wrestle Kingdom and New Japan Pro.
They do. Yeah. So, and one day I'm going to go to WrestleMania. One day.
You should come up next year. I'm planning on going to Philadelphia. It's only 5 hours from my house.
Oh, bro, don't tempt me. That would be so amazing, man. Oh my God.
They have package deals where it includes the tickets and the hotel. It's like $1,500 a person.
But still, it's worth it though, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yep, that's on my bucket list, and I've been a wrestling fan since 1985.
If it's worth it, then it's it's the spectacle of it. And this year, it seems like they got a lot going for them with the spectacle.
I haven't seen a card like this in a or any pay-per-view or WrestleMania in a long time, and I'm actually looking forward to both nights. Almost, I can't say every match, but I'm looking forward to almost every match.
Yeah. It's looking pretty good. And as you can see on the screen,
SoFi Stadium.
I know, right? It is looking it's looking awesome, bro. I mean, the overall presentation and stuff like that of WrestleMania this year is looking to be one of the best. But to go ahead and just get right into the full lineup, man, on the first night, we got the United States Championship between Austin Theory and John Cena. Yeah. So let's talk about that.
That is one of those matches I think, we all know Austin Theory is going to win. John Cena is not a full-time wrestler anymore. He's doing a lot in Hollywood. But I think this is that match that a lot of people are looking forward to see what Austin Theory can do. Yeah. We all know he's good in the ring. He's good on the mic. But this is that opportunity for John Cena to pass the torch to someone and say, this is the guy that I have the confidence in that can take over my spot. Yeah. And I think after this, we see more of a face turn for Austin Theory. Although he is good as a heel, I see a lot of fans actually warming up to him and actually starting to, cheer for him when he's in the ring now.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. Austin Theory, when he came in, and he was like Vince's boy and all that, with
I was the selfies and A-Town down. That was dumb.
I swear, when he started doing all that stuff, I was like, oh my God. But the promotion that he cut the other day, to where the whole ring and everything was just like the whole arena was completely empty. And it was just him talking to John Cena. I was like, holy shit, that was a good promo. I mean, he did a really, really good sell on that. And I think that you're right. I think that we're going to see Cena, he's going to completely step out, and he's going to, I feel that this is definitely John Cena's like last WrestleMania in the perspective of having a match. Like I could see him coming back, years down the road or something like that. But, now I will say this, I was watching this big beef thing that somebody had featured on TikTok and stuff recently, to where they were talking about how The Rock and John Cena have like real beef. Like they really don't like each other. And I was thinking, oh, that's probably just something that they're trying to sell. But supposedly they really don't like each other, and Cena, I mean, on a multiple basis has, when we're going down into the perspective of what wrestling is all about and what Cena has been pushing on this constant thing of like how, you're not a real wrestler if you're going to, just abandon everybody.
Right, and that's where I see them having beef a little bit too, because Cena, I think over the years Cena started resenting The Rock more because The Rock was part-time.
Yeah.
But I think now there's been interviews that Cena's done on like night show, like the late shows and all that stuff, where he has backpedaled a little bit on his opinion there, because he's like, I understand. He was like, there's a lot going on as far as movies go, and if the movies are going to pay him more, he can't, and this is the issue with The Rock too, they can't risk injuring themselves in the ring when it's going to cost them money outside in Hollywood, because Hollywood is, as far as acting, or excuse me, too much wine, or as far as longevity and making money and income, Hollywood's the way to go. So that's where that's where I think Cena is now finally seeing why The Rock did what he did and stepped away and became a part-timer.
100% agree with you on that, dude. And but I think it's going to be a good match. I think I'm not going to say it's probably going to be the best, like one of the best matches of that night, but I do feel that it's going to be a fantastic match.
Yeah, my last thought on that one is, and tell me your thoughts too, is
okay.
I think Austin in this match, Austin's going to carry Cena, and normally you would see it the other way. The veteran in the ring will carry and make the new guy look good. But I think Austin in this one, since Cena's been away for so long, Theory's going to make John Cena look amazing.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. He's going to make Cena look really good. I think they're going to have really good chemistry in the ring and do a lot of really, probably some unique things, especially, they're not the biggest guys, but they're still pretty large guys, and I think we're going to see a lot of some craziness going on.
We'll see a lot of back and forth. Cena will hit his 5 moves.
Yeah. Yeah. And, but I think it's going to be a good match. Now, this next match is what I'm just excited about. The SmackDown Women's Championship between Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. So, let's get your prediction on that.
Charlotte, to me, will always be one of the greatest of all time now.
Yeah.
As far as, what she did in NXT, what she did coming in to WWE, winning all her titles. But the way Rhea Ripley has stepped it up lately, and, her character, the momentum she has as far as her character goes in the story, and, what she's built with, the Judgment Day. I think this is a way for Charlotte to make Rhea look good in the ring.
Yeah.
Rhea's already good. She's a fucking powerhouse. She's freaking, what did she do? She power bombed one of the dudes from the OC. I can't remember which one it was.
Oh man.
Was it Luke Gallows?
Luke Gallows, I think. Yes, it was Luke Gallows.
Yeah, and like literally she's a beast, and I think it's going to go back and forth. Charlotte's going to have her momentum, but I think at this point WWE needs to put that title on Rhea to make her give her that, give her that momentum with that title to show that she is able to carry the women's division.
100%, because she's a powerhouse, dude, like you said, and I think that Rhea's going to win the match. She's going to be champion. Charlotte's kind of been in and out, over the last year, and Charlotte is great. I mean, Charlotte has honestly, since she has come into the main WWE roster, like she shocked me with some of the talent and stuff that she's done, and she's honestly really reminded me of some of the stuff that Rick used to do back in the day, because there was some moments of Ric Flair's career that it was just those matches that you just look back at and you're like, oh my god. But Charlotte
but WrestleMania 8, the Macho Man versus Ric Flair,
bro,
that match was one of my all-time favorite matches.
I honestly just got goosebumps whenever you brought that up. Like it was such a good match. It was such a good match. But even the moments, the small moments with Flair, whenever he became part owner of WWE.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, just his presentation, bro. Oh man. But
He
Charlotte,
passed that on.
yes, Charlotte has done such an amazing job. And I mean, originally, his son was the one that was really pushing to be in WWE. And of course, since his son passed away, Charlotte stepped into those boots and said she wanted to do it for her brother. But she's just, man, she's naturally talented, dude.
Yep.
But with that said, Rhea Ripley is Rhea Ripley. And I mean, since she has come into the scene, obviously her look has changed. And now she's known as Mommy. But my thing is that she is a dominant driving force, and with them pushing Judgment Day the way that they have continued to push Judgment Day, I really feel that it would be perfect if they just kept that brand going instead of it being something that's just like, okay, well, it was a good run. Rhea is, she's great, but we didn't want to pass it. It's got to go to Rhea.
It does. And I think with this match to make it, show that Rhea, or they have faith in Rhea going forward, I think they have to keep the Judgment Day out of it, keep Dom backstage, keep Finn, keep Damian Priest backstage, let her win clean. So that way, at least she has that, that clean win over Charlotte. And that could lead into even a storyline from there with Charlotte. If she wins clean. But, we never know. Vince is back. Vince was hired back, as of today. They said he's officially back in WWE. No one knows what he has, what kind of finger on the pulse he has with.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The gobbledygooker is going to come out, and it's going to be the women's champion.
Duke the Dumpster Droese comes back.
Oh my God, bro.
Kane comes back as Isaac Yankem.
I'm like, what is he doing? Oh my God, bro. And I never realized this until I watched some behind the scenes stuff or whatever that they had on Peacock the other day. But I never realized that Kane, when Kevin Nash and then moved to WC, I never realized
he was the fake Diesel.
Bro, I remember watching whenever I was young, like watching him, and I was like, oh, he's on 2 shows.
Yep,
but
he was Isaac Yankem. He was Isaac Yankem DDS.
Yes,
he was the fake Diesel, and then he came out as Kane. So,
And bro, I saw that, and I was like, "Wait a second." That's why I was so confused whenever I was little. I was always thinking he was on different ones, but of course, it was a different time then. But anyways, I think that Rhea wins this, and I agree with you, Skelly. I hope that it's a clean win. In the back of my mind, though, I think it's not gonna be. I think there's a very big possibility that maybe she is going to try for a clean win, and then like something's going to happen with the Judgment Day.
I think because Damian Priest does not have a match on the card at all for WrestleMania. So I think if they don't give her a clean win, I think that's going to be his appearance at Mania. But we all know they're all going to come out during we'll talk about it for the night too. Finn Balor, Hell in a Cell.
Okay,
so this next match, hold till the end because that's going to be the main event for night 2.
Oh, which one?
We should talk about that next, the tag team match last.
Oh, that's the main one on night 2?
On night 1. I mean, night 1.
Oh, really? Is it? Yep. Okay. So then we have Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus versus the Damage Control, which is Bayley, Dakota, and Io. Or Miss Sky.
Io Sky.
Io Sky. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this. I have a problem with this match, bro. Like
I have so many problems with this match.
Oh my God.
But I gotta say my longtime WWE crush, Lita, is the half of the women's tag team champions. So I'm happy with that.
And it's cool, man. It
Even
really
if it's only been for like a month and a half, he's back. But
bro, look, it's like somebody in the writing team was like, we gotta find a way of getting Becky Lynch back onto the card for WrestleMania. Yep. They're like, what if we brought back Lita? I was like, what the fuck? But and Lita's awesome, bro. I mean, for her age, the in-ring talent, even Trish Stratus, the times that she's come out, they're not as as limble and be able to jump all around like
Right.
they used to be. But at the same time, I mean, it's going to be a interesting match to watch for sure. But I do see Damage Control winning. That's my prediction.
I see the same thing, but
Yeah.
I like to go in depth sometimes on things. My reasoning behind Damage Control winning, we are going to see Trish Stratus turn on Lita and Becky.
I didn't even think about that. Yes.
And that's going to be the way Damage Control wins. Because we know the way Bayley is when she's a heel.
Mhm.
They never let her get clean wins. They
Yeah.
never, that's just her character.
Yeah.
That's her persona. So that's the creative they have for her. So that's why I think Trish is going to, say, and this will come back on Raw when they do the interview with Trish on why you turned on Lita and Becky.
Yeah.
But she's going to say, hey, Lita doesn't deserve this spot type thing. I should have been the one in the ring with Becky. I deserve the championship. So I helped take it from them.
You know what? That is a really good prediction. I could definitely see that because now, but this is my thing though, with them doing that, do you feel that they're going to try to end up leading into like a one last match, like Lita versus Trish Stratus?
Oh, 100%.
Thing? Yeah.
Yep. 100%. Whether it be at the next pay-per-view or if they bring back, the Evolution, the women's only pay-per-view in a couple months, that's something I could see being like a main event for that card.
Yeah. Yeah. And that would be good. That would be good, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So this next one, man, like Seth Rollins and Logan Paul. I'm gonna say this. Listen, I don't like Logan Paul, but
as a person,
the dude is fucking talented, bro.
As a person, I would kick him in the dick 14 times.
Yeah, but he's fucking talented. I mean, Jesus Christ, like the shit, it blows my mind.
Everyone's talked about it, and it's been viewed a million times. But that spot in the Royal Rumble with him and Ricochet.
Nuts.
Where they both springboarded, met mid-air collision. That was probably one of the most what the fuck holy shit moments I've seen in years.
Yeah, 100%. When they looked at each other like, we're gonna do this? I was like, yeah, no fucking way.
Ricochet was like, let's go, and he was like, let's do it. And the fact that like we all see it, and I'm happy that we are seeing it now with because we all saw a lot of celebrities back in the day at WrestleMania with WWE that didn't really get involved, but they were there. Over the last couple of years, Logan Paul, Bad Bunny came in. They both took it seriously and are both phenomenal in the ring. And the fact that now Logan Paul has a somewhat contract with WWE. I don't know the details of it.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And is taking it to this level that he's going to be in a Mania match with Seth Rollins is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I still think Seth Rollins is going to win this.
Oh, I think Seth Rollins will win. I do think that it is going to be a very, very good match. No question. I think that they're both going to show off their amazing talents. And I feel that Logan is going to do some really crazy shit. Now, such a good moment at that pay-per-view, man.
Yes.
But I think it's going to be really awesome. I think they're going to do some really, really great high-flying stuff. I think we're going to see Logan really pushing Rollins too. Like he's going to be pushing his buttons, as much as he possibly can. So next, Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. Now, I loved the SmackDown moment when he got up in his mom's face and he's like, "Mom, shut up!" And I was like, "Oh shit, bro, it's about to go down now."
Then when Rey turned around and he just came back and just like. And we all wanted that to happen. We needed to see that to lead up. Because I didn't see it going any other way.
Yeah.
We've had Ray and Dominic matches before, or not. Well, we haven't had the matches, but we've been
Well,
looking
they've been
forward to it.
yeah. We've definitely been looking forward to it.
Right, but we didn't. They could have easily just done it where they're like, okay, where they're going to have a match, and the beginning of the match is going to be Ray saying, "I don't want to hit you," this, that, and the other. But the fact that he did it before Mania, which is like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
And the one thing that is, I have so many feelings about this match on who's going to win, where it's going to go, and as far as building up to the next part of Dominic and Ray, as far as because this isn't going to be the end of their story.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think Dominic's going to win.
Yeah.
But after that, Ray's going to be so pissed off at the fact that Dominic won that it's going to lead into a Dominic and Ray for Ray Mysterio's mask.
Yeah. Oh,
and that's now since we have Ray going into the Hall of Fame tonight, I think that is the only viable way we see Rey Mysterio actually retire.
Yeah.
Because there's no other person in WWE or in wrestling other than Conan, but Conan can't wrestle anymore, that I see Ray having his final match with.
Yeah. Because
losing his mask to his son passes on that legacy.
Yeah. Now I will say this. I think that if he does lose, that there is going to be some type of interference. I think that they are going to let Dominic show that he does have athletic abilities. Now we kind of saw that whenever him and Ray were doing the whole tag team thing.
Right.
We saw him really kind of starting to sprout into his own person.
Yes.
But with that said, I think that I do agree that I think that the way that they've let it up with Ray just constantly saying, "I'm not going to fight you. You're my son. I'm not going to fight you." And then finally he just had that moment when he said that shit to his mom. Oh man, it was such an amazing lead into it. And he was like, "You know what? You want the fight? That's fine. I'll give you the fight that you want."
Don't talk to your mother that way.
But I feel that I could see them. I feel I could see them letting Dominic win, not just because of the whole, Ray possibly retiring and stuff like that, but I also feel that WWE is not done with Judgment Day. And if you have WrestleMania and then you have like Dominic lose, then Finn Balor lose, and then Rhea Ripley lose, and it's like, what? Okay, they're not that dominant. You know what I'm saying? They're not that big of a thing. So if Dominic wins, Rhea Ripley wins, and then eventually, which we'll talk about that other one, it goes a certain way, then it could, it could tip the scales on things. But then we have Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus Street Profits versus the Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders.
This is going to be a quick touch. Street Profits win.
Yeah.
That's really the only outcome here.
Yeah.
Unless they want to split up the Alpha. Well, even the Street Profits can win and have the Alpha Academy split up.
Yeah.
That's really it. I don't see Braun, as much as I love Ricochet. Braun Strowman's a piece of trash in my eyes ever since he came out and said wrestling doesn't need high flyers. Bitch, eat a dick. Sorry, but yeah.
Well, no, and I've really I changed my perspective on Braun Strowman. Like back when he was like the monster among men, and he was just this big, huge thing or whatever.
And then he went to control your narrative.
Yes, he went to control your narrative, and then also he started doing strong arm contests too.
Yep.
And I remember him going off on this guy that like I watched this video and the dude was like, I'm just competing with him.
Right.
Just like usual. And he flips his lid on him.
He was roid raging out. That's what it was.
No question. But I just don't understand his character anymore. Like, I don't understand, like they brought him back, but before he was this big, unstoppable force that couldn't be stopped. And now he's just a big ass dude. You know what I'm saying?
The only good thing I can say about him right now is after those tweets about wrestling doesn't need high flyers, it's all about, spots now. The fact that he did lose to Ricochet in that one tournament.
Yeah.
That I give him respect for. Because he could have pretty much told creative, nope, I'm not losing to the little guy. But he did. So that was good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Still don't like him. But yeah, this is a quick touch. I don't see this, being, the best match. I think this should have been a pre-show match.
Yeah, no
Like
question.
like the free-for-all. But
Mhm.
other than that, Street
Yeah.
Profits all day.
I agree. And then the big match, undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match, the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Now, this is going to be awesome, bro. I mean, this is going to be such a good match. What?
We the ones.
We the ones.
Yeah, the Usos.
Oh.
Nah, but I think Sami and Kevin are definitely winning this one.
Yeah. I agree. Now, what do you think about this whole lead up with the whole bloodline thing and all that? Like, I mean, it's been a pretty damn good lead up, man.
We're going to touch on the Roman Reigns Cody Rhodes match, but
Yeah.
I think Sami got screwed in this whole situation.
Yeah.
He, like they said on Raw was it last week or the week before, where it was last week, where Kevin Owens came out and pretty much said, "You've been the only relevant thing in WWE over the last 12 months.
Yeah.
Anything that happened to WWE to increase the ratings, it wasn't Roman, it wasn't the Usos, it wasn't anyone but Sami Zayn. The way Sami Zayn character has been built is by far anything more than he's done over the last 10 years in WWE and NXT.
Yeah.
And I think if they don't let them win this match, they've screwed this guy royally.
Yeah.
He's been there. He's done things he probably shouldn't have done with like different characters and creative. Vince screwed him over so many years with creative.
Yeah.
But I think this is his time in the spotlight. They need to give him those titles and, just build it from there. Let him and Kevin Owens be that next step in the tag team division.
Yeah, but that right there to where Jimmy
where he just sits up and like, what happened? That was amazing.
Oh my god.
But
it was such a good moment.
I do have to say, because I was at War Games in November live in Boston, and the reaction he got after the match when everything went off the air and him and Jay, had their moment on camera where they hugged, all that stuff. The reaction Sami got was bigger than any reaction I go to probably about 7 or 8 live events a year.
Yeah.
That was the biggest reaction I've heard to anyone in probably 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. And I feel that they've really built this up really good. I liked the fact that at first KO was like, "Nah, bro, like, get away from me. I don't want to have shit to do with you." And then eventually they embraced, and he was like, "You're my brother." Yeah. It was awesome. But I think I agree with you. I think that Sami needs to win this. Kevin needs to win this because, in all honesty, Kevin Owens, when he was pushing for the whole, Universal Championship and all this other stuff, it was great. But then they moved it into this whole KO show, and he had even though I love Stone Cold, bro, I love Stone Cold, but the whole Stone Cold KO match, it was like
it was better than I thought it was going to be.
It was, but at the same time, it was like, bro, what are they doing with KO? Like, it just feels like he's just like he's getting pushed back into like
that was a dream match for him, though.
Yeah, it was
to be that guy that Stone Cold trusted to be in the ring with.
Yeah,
because Stone Cold's been injured for years. If he would have taken a bump the wrong way, it could have been it for him.
Yeah,
and the fact that Kevin Owens was trusted to be in that spot. Granted, we think Kevin Owens is worth more as fans.
Yeah,
but to have that WrestleMania moment against one of the greatest of all time, you got to take it.
Yeah,
100%. Regardless of how we thought about it.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I agree with you though. I think that they need to let Sami and KO win this match and really just build the story into them being like a powerhouse tag team champions.
Fantasy booking for a minute. If I was the booker and I wanted to piss everyone off, alternate storyline that I thought of the other day. Sami turns on the Usos.
Yeah.
Or not turns on the Usos, turns on Kevin.
Oh,
Helps
okay.
the Usos win.
Yeah.
There's rumors that we all know Cody Rhodes is going to win the title match. There's rumors that Roman Reigns is going to step away for a little while and take some time off.
Yeah.
Sami turns on Kevin, helps the Usos win.
Yeah.
And he becomes the head of the bloodline while Roman's is away.
Who, Sami? Bro,
Yeah.
that would be nuts, bro.
While Roman is away, Sami helps run the bloodline.
Yeah.
With
Now,
the wise man.
Now, I did also hear rumors too, or see rumors that The Rock has been talking about coming back for some time. And now I don't see there being a possibility or any way that The Rock could come back and runs things. But let me ask you this. I was going to ask, do you feel like The Rock would possibly come back and be against the bloodline?
I think the only way The Rock would, that's been my thing the whole time with since the rumors of The Rock coming back happened. I think The Rock comes back and tells Roman, hey, you're not the head of the table.
Yeah.
I've been doing this since before you were freaking, dick high to a grasshopper.
Yeah.
But, unpopular opinion, I don't think The Rock can come back. Wrestlers have to be licensed by the athletic commissions in each state that they wrestle in. I don't think The Rock can pass a fucking steroid drug test right now.
That's true. That's true.
So
that is true. But yeah, I think that it would be great. I think that that they win and so on and so forth. And your alternate thing, that I think that would work out well too. I mean, Sami being the head of the table and stuff. But I don't know how fans. I don't know how fans would feel about it because the fact that Sami did turn on Roman and then now he's got this big good.
But then you have Sami as the face. Everyone loved when he was in the bloodline. Then you have the flip where everyone now loves to hate him.
Yeah.
As a heel because he turned on KO.
Yeah.
And that's how Sami's always been a good heel.
Yeah, because his whole him and KO's whole back and forth has been wild.
Ever since Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
That's been a good feud. So I think that might, be a good alternate, but I think they're going to win the titles regardless.
Yeah. So night 2 is going to be interesting. We're going to talk about the Raw Women's Championship first. Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Now I'm going to tell you this, man. I don't know what it is. I don't mean this in a weird way. I just got something for Asuka, bro. She's just my God, bro. Oh my God. Just her overall presentation when she came back and she had kind of that new look in the face.
It was the dark Asuka that she had in New Japan Pro.
Yes. And then whenever she, the blue spray and all that stuff out of her mouth, just that whole presentation. I love it so much more than what WWE kind of turned her into there for a little bit, to where she was just like, I'm normal Asuka.
You're not ready for Asuka.
Yeah. So Bianca Belair is a fantastic in the ring talent. But I could see Asuka winning the championship.
Yep.
Now, is this something that you would want?
I'll always be for Asuka being the champion.
Yeah.
I think my opinion after her winning, I think, Asuka wins. It's going to be a clean win. Her and Bianca, are going to have probably one of the best women's matches in a long time because both of them are amazing to watch. I want Asuka to win, and I want her to start feuding with Io Sky for the women's title. So that's what I would love to see.
Yeah, because her and Sky would have some really good matches, man.
They did in New Japan years ago, but because they have history together.
Which I didn't watch. I've never watched New Japan. I've only watched some highlights here and there.
But yeah, I think bringing that to WWE there, because I'm going to bring it up. AEW has a huge New Japan or even just Japanese presence in their product. And it's good. Don't get me wrong. They bring over New Japan guys. They wrestle all the time. But I think this would bring those fans of that back to WWE.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. And Bianca has been a really great champion. But as I said, I do feel that Asuka could add a new style, a new kind of hype around the women's championship. So I do want to see a big push back into that too. Like, there for a little bit, it was a heavy push on women's wrestling and stuff like that. And we have seen even in NXT and AEW and stuff like that, we've seen some of these women's matches that have just been like stellar, bro.
I'm wondering in this match too if we see any of the women finally make that jump from NXT to WWE or to the main roster. I mean, in any of these women's matches, because I mean, there's like Raquel, Nikki, stuff like that. That I think coming over would be really good and help expand that women's roster. That, in my opinion, although I love Bianca, she's a great champion. I love Charlotte. I love Rhea, but I think that without the matches and without these, these good feuds, I love her, like I said, but I think Bianca as champion has gotten a little stale.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion. A lot of people probably will hate me for saying that, but the Raw Women's Championship has gotten a little stale over the last, year or so.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, one of my favorite champions was Alexa Bliss.
Dude, don't get me started on my future ex-wife, bro.
Bro, especially when she was like dark Alexa. Oh, man. Like,
Alexa is like perfection personified, in my opinion. There's no one, and I don't think it's a sexist thing to say, but I think Alexa is by far the best woman that I've ever seen on planet Earth.
Yeah, she's gorgeous and she's a huge talent too.
She's very athletic.
Now, I was going to say this. You were talking about AEW earlier, and I haven't really even talked to you about it or whatever since it happened, but the fact of like Paige being in AEW now as Saraya, is that her name?
Saraya, yep.
Yeah, and I mean, she seems like she's been doing pretty good in AEW. I mean, especially the fact that the doctors originally told her she was never going to wrestle again.
Yep, and that's what the issue was. She wanted to wrestle. She wanted to get back in the ring. WWE doctors told her no. She went and got a second opinion, and they told her that she could pretty much get cleared to wrestle. So, I'm glad she's back. Yeah. She looks good.
Yeah.
Even though all of the behind the scenes, drama with her sex tape, all that stuff, which people need to finally shut up about and just let her do her thing. She's decent in the ring.
Yeah, so she is. And I'm going to tell you this, man, like that whole, I know this is a little bit of a tangent. We'll get back right back on topic, but the way she won the Divas Championship originally.
Yeah.
The whole push that they had with Paige and stuff like that, and how it was her ring and her house and all that. I loved the women's division at that point in time. I mean, it felt so different. And she was honestly one of the women with Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch.
The Four Horsemen.
Yes, that pushed the whole women's division into a new direction.
It was Charlotte, Becky, and was it Bayley or was it
Bayley? Yes, Bayley and Sasha Banks as well too, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And Sasha Banks, she's in New Japan now.
Supposedly, she is. She's the IWGP women's champion, but supposedly there's rumors that she only has a contract for one more match, which are saying she's going to lose the title and that she's going to end up in AEW.
Wow, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Be nice.
So
but yeah, so with that being said, Raw Women's Champion and needs to kind of get pushed just
Asuka.
a little bit more. Yes, Asuka for sure. Okay, so the Intercontinental Championship between Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus. Now, I'm going to say this. I want heavier pushes on the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh, 100%.
It needs to be back the way it used to be back in the day. The Intercontinental Championship was outside of the WWE Heavyweight Championship or Universal Championship, whatever you want to call it.
It was the most prestigious title in the business.
It was prestigious, bro. So I think the way that how long has Gunther been the champion now?
What, 6 months, 7 months?
I think that he needs to keep it. I think
No.
he needs to keep it. And I'm just saying, I like his wrestling style. I like his presentation. I like the way he is in the ring, the way he pushes things. Now, mind you, Drew McIntyre is Drew McIntyre. I love Drew McIntyre and I love Sheamus, but I like how Gunther is just an asshole. Like,
Well, yeah.
you
But
know what I'm saying?
I think going behind the scenes a little bit and not as much as, their in-ring development, I think the only way WWE keeps, the transparent Irishman, Sheamus, because you can freaking see through the dude.
Yeah.
I think the only way they keep him and, keep him happy, get him ready to sign a new contract when his contract is up, is to give him a run as the Intercontinental Champion. Because we all know he's never going to be world champion again. Or what is it? The World Heavyweight Undisputed ABCDEFG champion.
Bro.
But yeah, I think that's how that match needs to go. Sheamus needs that push. He's amazing in the ring. And I think that's one of the, going back to AEW, I think that's why they ended up losing Cesaro, because they didn't push him when he deserved it.
Yeah.
He deserved so much more than he got. So I think they're making up for mistakes in the past of, Vince's dumbass creative. They're going to see that and finally give Sheamus another run at IC.
Now, I will say this too about the creative aspect. I really do hope, even with Vince coming back into the fold on things, I really hope that he doesn't have a bunch of say-so into things.
Well, there's rumors that even he's been back for 2 or 3 months now.
Yeah.
And he has been in Gorilla in that creative spot, but they're trying to keep it under wraps.
Yeah.
So I hope Triple H finally stands up to him and says, you know what? I've been given this position as head of creative. You need to step back and let me do my thing, because
he knows what he's doing, bro.
Oh yeah. Over the last year, because it was right before SummerSlam that Vince got forced to step down because he's a giant douchey perv.
Yeah.
And the product has progressively gotten better.
Yeah. On a constant basis.
Oh, yeah. Because before, and like you said earlier, we'll get back on topic in a second. But the whole thing was, I was a huge AEW fan. I was a mark for AEW. I didn't really watch. I watched some of Raw highlights or SmackDown highlights. I would watch the premiere live events, pay-per-views, but I never really, paid attention. But once Triple H took over creative, and they started pushing more of, good stories.
Yeah.
I rarely watch AEW anymore.
Yeah.
I still keep up like I used to do with WWE, but WWE is my main brand that I watch now.
I'm going to tell you this. I was big into AEW when Rhodes was part of it.
Yeah.
When he cracked that throne with that sledgehammer.
Yep.
Oh my God. I was like, oh shit, we're about to have a new Monday Night War, baby.
Yes.
And then it slowly but surely it's just kind of gotten back into the normals, and which is fine, but with Rhodes being with WWE now and with them consistently pushing for the stories to be better, I agree with you 100% that I had really gotten to the point of just not watching it anymore, but over this last year, it's just, God, it's gotten so good.
Yeah.
So
minus this next match we need to talk about, Brock and Omos. What the fuck?
Bro.
This is a filler match.
In the words of Skelly just a moment, this is a quick hit. What the fuck is this?
Bro. It's a filler match.
Yes.
I'm surprised because we all know that Brock's contract, he gets final say on whoever he wrestles.
Yes.
And the fact that he chose Omos to be his opponent at WrestleMania dumbfounds me.
It shocked me, bro. I had thought maybe there was going to be something to where Brock eventually ends up fucking with the bloodline again, or trying to fuck with Roman Reigns and all this other stuff. But the fact that he's going to be at WrestleMania facing off against Omos, honestly, bro, Omos reminds me of the Big Khali, bro. Like he's just, like he's just there. He's just a big ass fucking dude
Yeah.
that I just don't really understand his position in the WWE. We have now, when you think about it, it feels like old school WWF, because we have two big ass dudes at the same exact time that are overpowered, question mark. And they're really, bro, Big Show back in the day, he was, I could knock people out with one punch. And then he got to the point where he was wearing a suit and walking around doing whatever the fuck. Omos was a security guard or whatever for the
for that freaking dude, what the underground fighting thing for Shane. But the only outcome I see of this match, Brock Lesnar is going to lose. Omos is going to win.
You think so?
But the only outcome I see actually being viable out of this match going forward is it recreating the Hurt Business. You're going to see MVP come out, Bobby Lashley, because Bobby Lashley doesn't have a match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I think Bobby Lashley, Cedric Alexander, all of them are going to reconvene as a Hurt Business and help Omos win.
Yeah. And that's another, speaking in that whole perspective with those characters, the fact that Bobby Lashley doesn't have a match and they've been pushing this whole Bobby Lashley, Bray Wyatt.
Well, Bray Wyatt supposedly is sick. That's what they're saying.
Okay. Because I was really confused. Like I thought after Royal Rumble or all this, I thought we were going to really see a big push.
Because that SmackDown before the Rumble, Bray Wyatt came out and said, "Whoever wins that match, I'm coming for you." Pretty much.
Yeah.
So
nothing happened.
Whoever wins that match, run. But I expected that too. But I think Bray Wyatt has the build-up for him coming back ended up dying so fast because there wasn't enough behind it to go forward. You had the Uncle Howdy, then freaking he had that match with LA Knight, the pitch black match, and then after that the freaking whatchamacallit jumped off the freaking top onto LA Knight, and it was stale.
And then it even got to the point. To where they were trying to they're reconnecting with Alexa Bliss and all this other stuff. And I was like, okay, they're trying to rebuild the family and all this other stuff. Whatever, cool, But if you're gonna do that, push it. If you're gonna do that, like every time there's a show, have some crazy shit happening from Bray Wyatt.
And not the Firefly Funhouse. That was good for like a minute.
Yes.
It just got so corny.
Listen, bro, I want old school Wyatt with like a mix of this new Wyatt. That's what I
want the Wyatt. That's what I thought it was going to be. I thought the Wyatt 6 was going to be a new version of the Wyatt family. When he came out after he made his return last year, and he came out that next Monday and was like, "I am Bray Wyatt." He's like, "I've been playing these characters for too long. It's time for me to be me." But then he started having these characters again.
Yes.
And he wasn't himself. That's kind of what pissed me off about the whole thing, because I am a diehard Bray Wyatt fan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I have championships with Bray Wyatt side plates. I have custom Bray Wyatt artwork on my wall in my office. And it's sad for me to say that he's just slowly died out. And I don't think he's actually sick. I think it's them putting him on the sidelines.
Yeah, because it doesn't really make sense. I mean, the Fun House, dude. Like it was understandable at the time with Alexa Bliss and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But then, like, bro, you've been gone. Okay, you've been gone, and then you come back, and then it's this connection. People see, Uncle Howdy and all this, and I'm thinking Uncle Howdy's going to be his right hand man, and that's
Bo Dallas, his
actual brother. So I'm thinking eventually they're going to show that it's Bo Dallas.
They could have done so much with that, but that whole lead up to him, and I could talk about this fucking stuff forever with Bray Wyatt, but that whole lead up with Follow the White Rabbit, all of those little clues everyone was literally spending hours trying to decipher these clues to him coming back, to him dying out as far as a character goes. But that's why I think Bobby Lashley is going to come out into this match with Omos and Brock Lesnar, because they're going to recreate the Hurt Business.
Yeah.
And I want WWE to have more factions.
Yeah, me
the
too,
Hurt Business, the Judgment Day, have faction feuds.
Yes, bro, that would
things.
be awesome, dude.
So that's my own opinion on that. I know it was going to be a quick hit on that, but
yeah,
tangents.
like it's going to be a quick hit. And I'm like, motherfucker. Yeah, but I actually, I'll say I want Brock Lesnar to win this, bro, because he's got to have something, dude. I mean, outside of picking up a fucking ring in the last, year or so, and he needs to have a win, bro.
I'm on the opposite side. My last little tidbit on that is I think Brock realizes the end of his career is coming. He needs to help,
Somebody else
the next generation. He needs to help the next generation build themselves up.
Yeah.
And if he can make Omos, who's probably the worst looking person you've ever seen in the ring, I think that's his way of doing it.
Just like I said, the Great Khali part 2.0, bro.
Oh my God. The fact that the Great Khali's in the Hall of Fame, I'll never fucking understand that.
Bro, Omos's movement in the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord. All right, so
this is a really quick hit.
Liv Morgan and Raquel Welch versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville.
Yep.
What the fuck? I didn't even know this was I didn't even know this was a thing.
This is like the Braun Strowman Ricochet, that whole freaking 27 tag team match.
Yes.
I think this should be a pre-show match.
Yes.
And that should be it.
Yeah.
We all know Liv Morgan and Raquel. We all know Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are going to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're pushing Raquel so much in NXT.
Yeah.
Booker T, that's Booker T's girl.
Yeah.
So that's it. Liv, Raquel for the win. That's it.
100%. Okay, so Hell in a Cell, Edge versus Finn Balor. Now,
rumors. Do you want me to get into the rumors behind
real
this
quick,
match right
just
now?
in case if anybody hasn't seen it, the Demon is coming back.
Yes.
Which is amazing. I'm so excited to see the Demon back. But lead on with the rumors.
Oh my God. Okay. So Finn Balor, we all know, Judgment Day.
Yep.
Damian Priest, Rhea, Dominic. There's rumors that Edge is going to come back as the Brood version of Edge.
Yeah.
There's also rumors that AEW, Tony Khan, has given permission for Christian to appear at WrestleMania. There's rumors that Gangrel is being flown in for night 2.
Oh, bro.
Which would mean we would see a reunion of the Brood versus the Judgment Day.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
So I think Edge loses here. Obviously, Edge is going to lose because it's coming time for him to retire again for a second time.
Yeah.
And this is the way for, to push, the Judgment Day as one of the top factions in the business right now, next to the Bloodline.
Yeah.
So that's my hot take on that match.
I agree. I think with the Demon Balor and stuff coming back and the push that Judgment Day is having right now, I definitely think that that Edge loses. And it would be nice to see Christian come back and that whole rumor mill come true. So lastly, we're here to talk about the undisputed WWE Universal Championship.
XYZ LMNOP.
Exactly. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Now, this is going to be one hell of a match, bro. Yeah. It is going to be awesome. We're going to see them throw out every little bitty aspect, even if it comes down to the Usos popping in and Sami Zayn and KO coming out there, and there's all this in-ring, outside ring, crazy shit going on. Hopefully, I would love to see The Rock make some type of appearance or something like that, or something. It's WrestleMania, so you can never be on your seat thinking, oh, okay, it's just going to be card by card by card.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something crazy that's going to happen at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So you never know if it's going to happen or not, but I do feel Cody Rhodes wins this. Roman Reigns has been, I got to say, as a wrestler and as this new push is head of the table and stuff like that, I personally think Roman Reigns is going to go down, especially with this whole story push, as one of the greatest wrestlers in some time. I think that he's definitely turned the character Roman Reigns into something that I think we never really expected. You know, we knew he was part of the Shield originally, and he was the big man of the Shield. But dude, what he is now, shit. I mean, he stomp a hole in old school Roman Reigns.
the Shield, the big dog.
Yeah.
Now the head of the table, the tribal chief. You know, he's been champion for what, over 800 and something days now.
Yeah.
It's time for Cody Rhodes or him to give that up, take some time off.
Yeah.
So that way, when he comes back, the fans will actually appreciate him more.
Yeah.
And I do have to say, with the Bloodline story, there's been guys that have been interviewed that were in the new NWO back in WCW days. I think it was Kevin Nash or Eric Bischoff. I can't remember which one, but they said that the NWO storyline was great. It was probably one of the greatest storylines of all time as far as them coming together. But those guys have said that the Bloodline even tops them as far as creative in the story goes. The Bloodline is the greatest story in WWE history, or in wrestling history per se.
It's definitely one of the best.
But it's one of those things that they're still going to continue with the Bloodline, but it's one of those things that has to come to an end.
Yeah.
You have to give Roman a chance to lose the title to feud to get it back. But if rumors are true and Roman is taking time out of back away from WWE for a little while, because he has been pushing for so many years, I would love to see Cody Rhodes win. I understand that there's going to be the Bloodline, and Sami Zayn and KO are going to come out. They're going to, fight. They're going to, help Cody win. But I think going into, this is my opinion, after WrestleMania, I think going into the next night on Raw, bringing in Jay White, Switchblade Jay White from New Japan, now that he's out of contract, he's a free agent, I think bringing him in to feud with Cody is going to be that next storyline that we're going to see that is phenomenal, because both of them on the mic, in the ring, are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because we all know Cody, over the last couple months since he's come back at Royal Rumble, some of his promos, like legit, that first promo with him and the Wise Man, like legit, I got tears when they were talking about, Cody's dad and where they came from and the respect that they had for each other. It was just like, holy crap. Paul Heyman and what he said to Cody and going back and forth, that's literally brought tears to my eyes. Yeah. And I think going forward, Cody has that opportunity to do that with other wrestlers.
Yeah. I did just read something while you were saying that too, that it does, in a recent report, it says that not only has WWE considered on the perspective of hiring Jay White, but also has considered hiring Kota Ibushi.
Yes. Now with Jay White, Triple H came out and said that, and they've done these things before to try to throw people off of their signings and people showing up. Triple H did say that the longer Jay White does not appear in AEW, the more of a chance they have to sign him.
Yeah.
So I think that's their way of throwing people off the scent, that they haven't signed him yet, but there's a chance.
Yeah.
So if he comes out on Raw on Monday and says, Cody, you won the title, it's my turn, that kind of thing, would be a great story.
Yeah, I think it would be a really good story too. Now, I will say, I mean, I know that speaking of Cody, is Goldust doing anything anymore? I mean, is he
Dustin Rhodes? He's in AEW. He still wrestles.
Okay, does he wrestle or does he usually work as like management and stuff like that with AEW?
No, he's a wrestler.
Okay.
But he's going to be retiring soon, and he runs his own wrestling school.
Oh, okay, like a training facility and stuff. Okay. Well, I was going to say
it's called the Nightmare Factory.
with it being WrestleMania Goes Hollywood and it being in Hollywood and stuff like that, I thought it would be really cool to have fucking Goldust pop out and be like, you know, I know Goldust is always such a weird character to a lot of people, but man, Goldust is
his feuds with Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, were amazing.
Yeah. It was awesome. But
yeah.
Anyway, so with that being said, that's the end of our segment for wrestling. We're not really gonna talk extremely long on this next topic. We're gonna share our opinions and stuff on it. It's time for a second opinion. So with that being said, we're here to discuss quickly about the cancellation of E3 and what it could mean for the industry. Now, I will say this. The ESA was very smart, I think, by connecting with ReedPop, which ReedPop has been overseeing PAX and all these other events for some time. And things have been looking up. You know, even with Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation being out of the loop, there was at the beginning of it in December, somewhere around there was a big push. Konami was going to be there. Square Enix was going to be there. All these big companies, Sega, Ubisoft, so on and so forth. But I will say this. In 2018, whenever I went to E3, PlayStation was there, and it just had this feel, bro. PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, everybody was there. It was just a glorious thing. The next year when we went in 2019, that whole section that PlayStation had was taken over by like indie developers and whatever, and then Nintendo was in the area, and it was different. But it still felt like E3 because these big developers were coming about. But COVID hit. And when COVID hit, these publishers got smart. They were like, why are we spending the amount of money we're spending on show floor space at places like Los Angeles Convention Center, E3, all this other stuff? Why are we taking the shit that the ESA has been putting us through when we can do our own thing? You know, I'm just going off of you. Go ahead.
Okay. So we have conventions. We've all been to them, PAX, those where fans and, gamers can go and do their thing. Yeah. I think the downfall of E3 was when they started allowing fans into E3. When it was an industry-only event, these companies and that's when they started pulling out, when they started letting fans in, because I think Sony, Xbox, Nintendo, some of the bigger developers, they knew that when it was industry only, they had that ability to show their games to the people in the industry that mattered. Mm-hmm. They didn't have to worry about stupid, and I hate to say it, but we've seen it at PAX, fans just running up expecting free shit, wanting to, just bother them. But so I think that's where the downfall with E3 came. And that's why I'm happy they actually canceled it.
Yeah.
Because it turned into another PAX.
Well, let me say this though. I will tell you for sure that one of the main downfalls was the amount that the ESA started charging. First off, to the publishers. PlayStation was the one that really pretty much beat Nintendo to the punch, because Nintendo had already thought about not doing the convention anymore because of the success of Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
What is the point of spending all this money and going to this large convention to reveal their games one time of year when they can set up anytime they want to and it be a huge success? They make direct revenue off of their YouTube page, live streams, all that other stuff, comparing it to the perspective of spending all this money. And yes, they do PAX. Yes, they do other conventions, but they have it set up different at those conventions.
But you still had Sony and Xbox. They weren't on the show floor at E3, but they still were at E3.
Well,
they had down the street from E3, they had the Xbox event, they had the PlayStation event. So granted, they weren't there on the show floor paying, the ESA all that money to be on the show floor. They were still there in some aspect.
Yeah, but like in 2019, Sony wasn't there at all, bro.
Right.
They weren't there. They didn't have an event there at all. In 2018, PlayStation had a mega booth, bro. They had a huge
booth.
But
that in 2018 was the first. Was it the first or second year they allowed actual people to just buy tickets to go in?
That was the first year. The first year.
And then there's no coincidence that the very next year after they started allowing the general public in, they started having the PlayStation event down the street, which was only open to industry personnel. Yeah. There wasn't any fans allowed.
Yeah, even with the Xbox event too. And I will tell you this, with that being said, the Reed Pop was 100% right when they came in. Reed Pop was like, hey, listen, this year's 2023 E3, it's going to be separated. There's going to be 4 days for industry. There's going to be 2 days for gamers, blah, blah, blah. If they wanted to do that, or if they wanted to bring gamers and stuff into it and give them that E3 experience, that's how it should have been done in the first place. Because I'm going to tell you, in 2018, it was a great E3. I made all my appointments and stuff, but fuck, was it crazy? Because Kingdom Hearts 3, oh my God, bro. I'm serious when I say this. There were people lined all the way outside of the convention just to make sure that they got a spot to play Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah. And when they let the people in, it was a fucking bum rush, bro.
Right.
I mean, oh my God, it was a bum rush.
E3 used to be my jam every year. Like I would literally, for like the press conferences, and I'm uber nerd, to where I would tell my work, I can't work between these hours that day. Exactly. I can't work between these hours because the Sony press event. Can't work between these hours because the UB event. Can't work between these hours because Microsoft. But it just started getting like boring because these companies, like, for me, stopped caring.
Yeah, and also you got to think too. We're not talking about the genius Red Devil that is Jeff Keighley.
Right.
Okay. So Jeff Keighley, bro, listen, and this is my perspective. This is no hate towards the ESA. This is just how I'm looking at it. Jeff Keighley used to be the voice of E3 for the ESA. Something happened and he was no longer the voice. And then he was like, fuck it, I'm going to do my own thing.
Yep.
And when he started doing his own thing, it's become a mega success. And guess what? Ubisoft, after they announced the other day that they won't be there, guess who's going to be at Summer Games Fest? Ubisoft.
Yep.
Guess who's going to be at Sega? Or guess where Sega's going to be? At Summer Games Fest. Yep. All of these, even PlayStation, Xbox, all these people plan on showcasing stuff on Summer Games Fest.
Right.
So it's almost like it's gotten to that point now that pretty much what I even saw online from some people that have direct connection with Reed Pop and the ESA and stuff, saying maybe it was too little too late.
Yep.
Maybe the way that we presented it and stuff like that, maybe we should have presented it like this a couple of years ago. So
another quick touch on that with another thing that I think, helped with the downfall of E3 is the fact that once you got to the actual press events, even if you weren't there and you were watching them on TV, you knew what was coming out. All of the unofficial or official leaks for things, you knew Microsoft was going to show off Halo. You knew
Yeah.
Microsoft was going to have Gears on display. You knew Ubisoft was going to announce the next fucking whatever.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where you didn't have to tune in to know what was going to happen.
Exactly. And it did lose its luster. You know what I'm saying? But that's something else that I'm going to say. I got to give it to Jeff Keighley. He has done such a great job at building the connections that he has with the games publishers and stuff that he has. Every year at the Game Awards, bro, he knocks it out of the park. And we
100%.
always end up seeing some crazy ass shit that no one expected to see.
Yep.
So at Summer Games Fest, with him pushing, with IGN and him partnering, with all these other things going together all at once, I think it's going to be a really, really good show. So I think, hello, Mar. I'm doing a podcast right now. In just a second, we're almost done. But anyways, guys, listen. It's been a great show.
Yes.
It's yet again, it's been a really great show. And I want to give a big shout out, of course, to Skelly for popping on and doing this show. It's great to be back on here, doing the podcast with you again. And I think at some point in time, maybe at the beginning of the week or something like that, we're going to try to talk about WrestleMania. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, we'll have like a reaction show to
see if our predictions came true.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So, do you have any shout outs or anything like that you want to give?
Shout outs to you, obviously, for letting me come back on the last episode and the reunion episode, and then again tonight.
Yeah.
And then again after WrestleMania, and hopefully going forward, be on some shows.
Sure. Yeah.
But other than that, pretty much it. Marksman, who was supposed to be on tonight, but obviously couldn't. And then Toaster, who had to go spend time with his dad, obviously, which I completely agree with. But
yep.
That's pretty much it.
Awesome.
And everyone who still listens after all these years.
I don't have that one connected, Amar. You're crazy. I just don't. That's not how it works on here. Anyways, so big shout outs to everybody. Big shout outs to you, Skelly. Shout outs to Toaster and Taurin or Marksman. And shout outs to Bolts. We're gonna do another audio version of the podcast within the next week or so. And I love you guys. Thanks for watching. It's been a great show, and we'll talk to you very, very soon. And I forgot to add the outro audio.
While you're doing that, a big fuck you to Vince McMahon.
Yeah, can't stand him. Where is it at?
The death of creative.
Yes, the complete death of creative. Is this the right one? I don't know if this is the right one. Nope, that's not it. I'm sorry, guys. Our outro is coming. Okay, it's about to be. The show's about to be over. I promise you. But yeah, I do think that this. Upcoming WrestleMania is going to be fantastic, and I can't wait to see Skelly's reactions online, because I'm sure they're going to be like, "Holy shit!"
Yep.
All right,
100%.
All right, guys. Love you very much, and we'll talk to you soon.
At the Skelly on Twitter.
This was another opinionated episode of the Second Opinion Podcast. Check out the podcast on Anchor FM, Spotify, iTunes, and Cinelinks.com. Also, check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Second Opinion Podcast, for tons of gaming content coming soon.